Welcome back to episode 6 of the Kiribati, not Kiribati. I've been told it's not Kiribati, it's Kiribati boat build, an aluminium 36-foot sailboat. In this episode I will go through a little bit of keel box work as well as stage 10 on the cost calculation, which is the front rudders. In the previous episode we went through the rear rudders, as I call them, because the front and the rear becomes the actual rudder function itself. So let's take a look at that. Good morning, it is 7:20 and I am taking the opportunity to pick up some boat parts from my friend who has welded before I start my day job. So what I'm picking up is the keel box, and the keel box is what the keel is going up into the boat when it's in its upward position. So the way I went about to have the keel box made was that I started off with the upper and lower keel bearing clamps. So those are the clamps that holds the actual pivot rod of the keel in place when it's fixed to the boat. So I took the upper keel pivot clamps and had those welded to one side of the keel box itself. Then after that I put on some extra support for those keel clamps, and then I had the other side of the keel box made. So now I was left with a front and a back part, and the reason I kept them apart for a long time was of the sheer size and weight. But I've come to a point now where I need to start to put them together. So they have now been welded together, as well as the keel box lip that goes on the top, that allows me to bolt the actual lid to the keel box itself. So the idea is to pick that up today, take it back so that I can measure out exactly where the keel clamps or supports needs to be welded. And another thing that is left on the keel box is to do some M6 threading for a round lid that needs to go on as well. So those two are the next 2 points that I hope to achieve. So we'll take it from there. So this is the keel box. It took 3 people to get it into the van, so I need to figure out how to get it out myself. And I also picked up bulkhead number 5, which is the next in line, so I need to store that. There's a couple of complications. The lid, the alignment of the holes is not good at all, so I need to figure something out for that. So that's another piece of work added to the list. So bulkhead number 5 ready for storage, and hopefully that will be part of a boat one day. That's the plan anyways. One step at a time, one step at a time. Too muddy to get up on the field, so I'm going to see if I can offload it on the trailer instead of putting it straight into the unit. With the help of my dear brother-in-law Matty, it is now on the trailer. It's way too heavy to do by myself, so I needed an extra pair of hands. So this is now the keel box on the trailer with the keel. So that's the upper keel pivot bearings. That's welded to the side. The job for today is to thread these M6 holes. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M6 holes. And I'm going to use the tool that I have designed so that I know that I'm threading it straight. So I'll show you a bit about that. Time to start the printing of the tap guide that I have created. So let's go into the app and we'll set that to next. And we'll set that filament is PLA basic, and we want to do a time lapse, and that should be it. So the first task for today is to make sure that these holes are threaded as mentioned, so that I can put this lid, this round lid on. It's literally just I think it's a 10mm round aluminium 5083 lid with a 2mm rubber seal on it, and it's just some M6 stainless steel marine grade bolts. So to make sure that it's straight, I have printed this tool that Marian helped me to put together, and it allows me to make sure that the tap is straight when it goes in, just by putting it flush against the surface. So we'll see if that works. Hopefully that should do the trick. So we'll give it a go. I forgot to mention an old trick I learned in college when I was working with machining, and that is if you use methylene spirit on the aluminium when you work on it, it will cut much better instead of going all greasy and clogging up. So just a bit of spray on methylene, with methylene spirit on the tap itself and around the holes, and you get a better result. Whenever I laser cut, the holes always seem to come back smaller than the actual size. I think these should have been laser cut as M5 or 5mm in diameter, but it's just way narrower, so the tap doesn't really grip. So I need to go to the hardware store and pick up an M5 drill. I need to go anyway to get some cookie cable for the welding setup, as well as some tarpaulin for these parts, so they don't sit in the rain all the time. Yeah, let's do that first. And off we go into the nearest town, which is roughly 10 minutes away, so it shouldn't take too long. And we have M5 drills. Woo! And the last one at normal speed. So I have countersunk a little bit here. I made sure it's 5mm A little bit of methylene spirit on the actual tap as well. Use the homemade guide to make sure it's straight. And normally it is a couple of twists forward and half a twist backward, just to kind of loosen up. And once I know that it has gripped okay, should be able to ease off the guide and then keep on going all the way through. And then gently screw it back out again. And as always, because we're going from stainless steel into aluminium, once this is fitted once and for all, it will be fitted with either Sikaflex, or it will be fitted with another compound that I found, which is more of a almost like a copper grease, but I think it's has another metal in it, which is used on airplanes, which works really well for metal and aluminium. But I need to look into that more, because I'll probably rather use that than Sikaflex. But more about that in future episodes. Next task is to work out exactly where these shelves or these brackets should sit in relation to the keel itself. And imagine that's the where the keel bearings will be resting. When the keel is in its downward position, then a part of the keel will then rest onto this piece here. So the question is, where will I set it? And what I'm thinking I can do is, if I just measure from this center point on the keel bearing to the little rod that will be resting on that shelf or that bracket. So from center to center, if I can then work out the center point here, I should be able to just draw a line all the way up to the center here, and that will be the center of the cradle in theory. So that's my next task. A couple of other things that happened this week, or a couple of weeks ago, is that I received the two Seplos battery boxes that I will be using. As mentioned, I will be building them in underfloor level, very close to the keel and the ballast. So part of this, around 200 kilos, will be used as ballast. So I will remove 200 kilos from the actual ballast to make sure that I'm sticking to the architect's calculations. Another thing that's happened is that I received the neoprene membrane that I will be using between the lead and the lead and aluminium when I'm closing the keel up after I put aluminium in, or lead in. So that's a step forward as well. I'm not going to unpack that yet. I'll do that towards when it's closer to be used. So these are the two front rudders, as I call them. The smaller parts of the rudder that is fixed to the actual hull itself. So it's only the rear rudder piece that is actually moving and is movable. So really happy with these. The welding is really good, so I don't think I need to worry about any structural issues going forward, which is lovely. And here's the little foot at the end that will be bolted to the foot that holds it together with the rudder stocks. If we put it next to the rear rudder, then it makes more sense. So that is the swiveled rear rudder, and that is the front bit that is attached to the hull itself. Let's see if I can come out a bit. Total cost so far, stage 1 to 10, is £6,292.97, and that is roughly $7,445.73. Stage 10 alone came in at £941.39, which is $1,153.66 US, and that was spent in material was 372.27 pounds, which is $445.94. The welding came to 210 pounds, which was external welding by my friend, and that is $262.21. The laser cutting landed at 89.12 pounds, which is $106.75, and the machining in this case is the bending of the outer plates, came to 225 pounds, which is $281.47. And there was also some tools and miscellaneous for 45 pounds, which is $57.29, and that was me having to buy a new grinder, so a 900 watt grinder that could cope with the amount of grinding that I had to do on these afterwards, rather than using my cordless little grinder, which is hopeless. So, conclusion for stage 10, as mentioned, I spent £941.39 pounds, which is $1,153.66 US. Of this, parts and material came to 39.54%, so almost 40%. External labor, which is welding and so on, came to 55.66%, which is above the actual material cost, and the extra tools and miscellaneous was only 4-5% of this. So once again, if you have more time than money, then you are better off making sure that you can do your welding and all your machining yourself before you start the project. As an example, if I would have done all my welding up to this point, stage 1 to 10, I would have saved myself £765, which is $946.67, which is 12.16% of the total cost. And if I, let's say, did all the welding and all the lading and machining, including of plate bending myself, I would have saved myself £2,186.80 or $2,647.01 US, which is 34.75% of the complete total. So once again, if you have the time, then make sure you have all the tools and all the skills before you start a project. That will save you a lot of funds. For anyone interested in the Google Doc calculation document, then I'll leave a link to that in the description of this video. The same goes for the blog for stage 10. You will find a link in the description for that as well. Thank you for watching episode 6, and as usual, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments and I will respond within 24 hours. If you would like to see more and you haven't already subscribed, feel free to subscribe, and I think you should see some more episodes up here somewhere. And as always, thank you very much for following this build and for all the great advice I get via the comments. It keeps me pushing forward. So until next time.